This is a video all about how your beliefs control your life. I'm going to go through this beautiful board here, and we're going to start. This is you. Here you are, beautiful you. And this is your life, and represented by the bubble. And they are a reflection of each other. We often think of ourselves as being separate from our lives. There's me, and then there's my life. But they are a mirror. When you change, the reflection changes. When the reflection is emanating something back at you, it's letting you know what you're putting out, even if you're not fully conscious of it. We often get into trouble when we're projecting everything outside and being like, these people are mean, they're bad, they're doing that, blah, 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 blah. Well, it's always a reflection of us. If you can even conceptually take that responsibility, then you're going to learn a lot from this, and you're going to grow, and you're going to be able to shift yourself and your life. And if you reject that, then keep doing whatever you're doing, and I wish you the best of luck. There's you and the reflection. And how does this reflection start? Well, often, always, this reflection starts when we were a kid. This is you when you're a kid, little wide-eyed there. And this is basically like a funnel of you being like a sponge, intaking all these things. These are adults that have already spent time on earth in reality, form their own belief systems and their own structures. And they often will articulate these things to you like they're facts, like they're universal, they're 100% true for everyone. And they also may, and often do, project their own limitations and contrast and irritations on you. They might be like, be quiet, don't express yourself. Life is hard. I'll tell you how hard life is, which, to be fair, it is hard for a lot of people, and myself included, of course. You're too sensitive. Money doesn't grow on trees. You have to do this to do this. This is the way to be successful. This is what you're supposed to do with your life. That's a big one. This is what you're supposed to do with your life. You are inhaling all these beliefs, especially when you're a young child, especially before you've even booted up, before your memory even starts. You're just intaking. It's not just going into your brain. It's literally going into your body. These patterns store chemically. And the reason this works is because everything is energy, and everything starts as energy and then manifests and crystallizes into physical form. And when it comes to belief systems, like in regards to our vessels, our avatars, these bodies that we experience life through, they crystallize belief systems and structures. Then they reflect those out into reality, and both control our actions, and the feedback becomes basically a loop. Let's say someone says to you when you're young, and you don't even realize, and you pick it up, that relationships are hard. True love is not really possible, or true love is something you need to yearn for. That's something that very much I learned from movies and television and stuff like that. And it gets stored right in the center of your heart. Even if my brain decides and my conscious thought decides it wants to think something else and have a different experience, well, my heart is sending out the signal and the belief physically, because ultimately, we want to have a physical manifested experience. Well, if the physical part of me is sending out the signal and is tied in the belief that love means yearning, then guess what experiences I'm going to have in my life? And guess what experiences I had in my life? The physical belief lives in your body, and it creates actions. So you act according to it. It affects your relationships, as I just described. And it reflects and affects your reality patterns, the reality that comes back. Basically, it reflects possibility. What does this do? This creates a loop of belief. I believe this. Sometimes you don't even know you believe it. You take action. The reflection happens, reinforces the belief. Your awareness may be there in the belief. Your awareness may be there in the action, but most people's awareness is in the reflection. Most people have a belief and they're acting in accordance to it, but they're only aware of their reflection. So they're projecting outside of themselves, saying reality is creating this, and so it's their fault, it's this fault, it's I'm a victim kind of thing. But that's negating the fact that there may be a belief under there, and you're taking action based on that belief. The most challenging thing is to change reflection. And I would say Most people start there. They start outward and they exert effort outward because we are attempting to assert a physical force on something that is energetically misaligned. It's like this. You see the mirror not smiling back at you. So instead of deciding to smile, you keep trying to change the mirror, and it never quite works. If we learn to discover the actual beliefs beneath the reflection that exist within us, and then start taking action from that place, the reflection changes. We essentially take ourselves out of one looping pattern. Some people call this a fractal. It's basically a system, a replicating system that starts, carries itself out, repeats, or comes to a point of potential completion. And then when we act the same way, it completes itself and then it starts again. This is why I invented belief breakthrough. This is a very simple system that came to me and does three things. One, you find out what the core beliefs are. Because if you don't know what they are, then you're basically just working and operating inside of the stories themselves. And when you are trying to change a story from inside a story, well, you're just another hopeless character. But when you get beneath the story and discover the root of what's happening within you, and then you find out where it lives in your body, where it is within you, its epicenter, its ground zero, the place that is actually putting out the signal, the place that is actually making the decisions. You got to know that. And then, with those two things in mind, you shift it right in the spot that it exists. You figure out what it is, where it is, and then you shift it. When you do that, simple, effective, fast, and it fundamentally changes who you are. And then change your action, change your reflection, and then a new pattern gets reinforced, and you get to have creative control over your identity and your reality, and life becomes a lot more fun. If this is something you want to learn how to do, I'm going to leave a link in the description. This has become a deep passion of mine because I love freedom more than anything in the world, and I'm also an artist and a creative. And so the ability in which to create new characters and new identities and not be held by my past limitations of fear of what someone else might think about me, or like really putting myself out there and really expressing myself, has been the most liberating and wonderful thing in my life and has brought so much value to me and the people around me. And so this is something that I want for you too. I really was seeking a fundamental solution. Everyone has sort of micro solutions for whatever niche they're in. And I wanted to find something that's really deep, that can find the core thing that keeps us from doing whatever we want to do. Whether you are an artist, or you want to be a mentor, or you want to do accounting, or you want to be a scientist, or whatever it is, your belief systems and how you show up and your ability in which to change them if you need to, it's the most healing, self-empowering, stabilizing, authentic thing you can do for yourself. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.